Hey guys, and welcome to the first video of the 52-week project series that I will be doing this year. Today was my first photo shoot, so I'm going to start off in these videos with a bit of a recap of what's happened throughout the day and show you guys some behind the scenes specifically from the shoot. And I hope you guys will find this really interesting because I'm trying to show more of a step-by-step process of how I've gone about organising styling or hair and makeup and all that sort of thing. So I feel like this will be a good step towards doing that. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the vlog from today. So and just tell you a little bit about the shoot as well. So the shoot that I've done today was just a nice floral outdoor type of photo shoot. I really wanted to do a shoot before I left Melbourne because I'm going on my big trip in a couple of days' time around the world, and I wanted to have a few shoots in before I left. So I did have 2 shoots planned for today. One of them didn't go ahead, but the one that did go ahead was specifically for this project. I wanted to shoot nearby where I was staying, and I preferred to shoot in more of a park or outdoor kind of environment. Melbourne's really quite well known for its parks, and I really enjoy having a bit of freedom of moving around from spot to spot, so I thought that was a really good place to start with this shoot. Was looking at the location first. So the location that we chose was Flagstaff Park in Melbourne, and it was quite a nice green area, so I thought because we were shooting in a park too, I wanted to make sure the styling was going to be interesting enough for just like the green backdrop. So anything that was really patterned, florally, flowy, anything that I could really work with in terms of clothing would have been perfect for this shoot. So that's why I went ahead and made the mood board to reflect that and to reflect a lot of floral, colourful patterns. And I'm actually going to insert in the video what mood board we used for this shoot just now. So yeah guys, I'm going to introduce the vlog now, and you guys can see what has happened throughout the day and how the shoot went and just some of the general behind the scenes from it, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, welcome to the first vlog of the 52-week project. Wow, what a stressful first night in organising the shoots for today. I actually had 2 shoots planned for today, and they were both going to be for the project, and I was going to sort of upload them in a staggered kind of form. But one of the models pulled out last night, so that was a little bit frustrating, but part of pretty much organising photo shoots. So I'm going to show you guys in these vlogs pretty much everything of going along and organising these shoots, because there is quite a bit of organisation involved, and organising mood boards, call sheets, all the rest of it. So I'm hoping to kind of give you guys a better insight into my photo shoots and what I'm doing. So yeah, this is a 41-degree day today in Melbourne. I'm currently staying in Melbourne, finally back here after a month of living back home in Wollongong for a while. So yeah, I've decided to organise a couple of shoots while I'm down here, although only one of them at this stage is going ahead. We're starting at 9 AM today. We did want to get it pretty much over and done with. The original first shoot I had was going to be planned at 7:30 in the morning because I really wanted to get them done before like 11 AM, because it's just going to be so hot today, and I really don't want the model's makeup melting off her face. That's not really happening anymore, so we're going to just start from 9 AM. We've got a hairstylist, a makeup artist on board. The concept for this shoot is going to be talked about in my post photo shoot vlog a little bit more, but it's going to be at this stage a very floral, colourful sort of look. I'm getting the model to style herself, so I'm getting her to bring a lot of her clothing along because unfortunately I'm at a luggage limit at the moment, so with my trip coming up, so I really can't afford to be taking too much clothing. She's going to style herself today, and we're going to be shooting in and around the CBD and possibly one of the parks nearby. Hopefully it'll be cool enough for us to go and shoot there. I'm just hoping it's not going to get to 41 just yet. It's still earlier on in the day, but yeah, we'll see how we go, and I'll keep you guys updated. So the A-team is here. Hey. Simone, Megan, hairstylist and makeup artist. I've worked with these guys a few times before and they are sensational. So they're just setting up at the moment, and Rada, our beautiful model, is here today. And yeah, so we're going to set up and do makeup and hair right now.
41 degrees here today. It's really bloody hot. But there's a bit of a breeze, so it might be okay. It might not actually feel as hot as what it's meant to be, but we'll see how we go. I don't think it's quite at 41 degrees yet, so that's good. We're just walking up to the location now though. We're going to shoot at Flagstaff Park. So yeah, hopefully there's a bit of shade over there. Shots, I'm just getting Rada to sit on the ground because it's a little bit more comfortable in this weather for a start, and the wind is a little bit strong at the moment, so we don't want everything to be flying around too much as far as the hair goes and the clothing, so we just want it to stay fairly stationary at this stage. I'm just trying to get some nice lighting as well because this tree is providing some pretty good light at the moment too. Side profile maybe. Sort of facing up to like perfect. And then kind of look back to perfect. That's fine. Oh, that hair.
It's like the thick, like the back part of the fringe that's like really long, but it's just...
No, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. And have a lovely weekend.
Thanks.
Alright, see you. Alright. Yay! It only took... It was only like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It was a pretty quick shoot today.
Right. Yeah.
She modeled really well. She did, and she took direction really well, which was good.
Very good.
Yeah. We tend to have some short shoots, don't we? Like I always say, I'm like, oh yeah, 2 hours will be enough, like for a test.
But like half an hour is plenty.
Yeah.
Like, just get shit done.
Just get it done.
It would have been good to get the green eyeliner on the other guys.
Yeah, we were going to do another look with green eyeliner, but we just didn't have time in the end. So
in a year's time, we can go back there.
yeah, when I'm back home, see through.
So that was the vlog, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to talk about one thing that I've improved on for each week, and then one thing that I think I could do better for next time. So I think for this week, one thing that I've really improved on was directing the model, and I think I was giving pretty good direction today. We didn't have a lot of time, and that was quite hard to make sure that I was getting the shots that I needed to in such a short period of time. So I was really making sure that I was giving the model really good direction and trying to vary her poses quite drastically between a lot of shots, because I really wanted a lot of variety for such a short time. So I think that's one thing that I did pretty well this week. I'm trying to get better with my directing, because I think originally when I first started off with photography and really up until only the last couple of years, my directing was quite mellow, so I felt like I was just letting the model do their thing and being as natural as possible, and that's all great. But sometimes to get the shots that you really need, especially if you're on a time constraint, that's when you really need to start directing them and really telling them what to do, of course in the nicest possible way. But I think that's one thing that I did really well this time. The thing that I need to improve on for next time is definitely my time management. This time around, I really didn't allow enough time for the shoot and for the hair and makeup. I underestimated how much time it was really going to take for all that to be done today and to even walk to the location. So I think that was really hindering the amount of photos that I could have taken today and the variety. And we had such a tight time constraint. I think it was overall maybe 30 to 45 minutes of shooting time, so it was not a lot of time at all. And I know that sometimes that is the case with fashion photography. You only have a very short amount of time to shoot, but I think especially on shoots like this where I do have a lot more control over the shoot in general, I could have allowed more time. And I have had this happen a couple of times in the past where I haven't allowed enough time, and it sort of leaves you kicking yourself after the shoot, because it's something that's so easily fixed. You know, you just allow that extra hour or that extra half an hour even. But yeah, unfortunately I wasn't keeping track of time, I think earlier on today as well when everyone arrived, and yeah, just something that I need to improve on for next time, and really just allow myself that bit extra time to get some more variety in my shots. I think we only got through maybe 2 outfits today, so that was a little bit disappointing to think we could have had an extra outfit or 2 on top of what we already did today, but that's okay. Next time I will hopefully be a little bit better with my time management. So now I'm going to show you guys what the final images are and why I've selected those particular images. I'm only picking one image for the actual project each week, but I will be posting other images from the shoot on Instagram and for Flickr and other social media, and that I will be showing the other shots. But yeah, just keeping in mind that I am only picking one particular photo, but I'm going to tell you guys why I chose this particular photo and what I like about it, and something I think I've improved on, I think, with just technically within the photograph and maybe conceptually as well, and just give you a rundown of the images overall. So guys, I'm going to go through the photos now from this shoot and go through the 10 photos that I've edited from this particular shoot. So I've chosen a top 5, and I think for each week what I'm going to do is choose a top 5 out of the shoots and tell you what my favorite images were from the shoots and why they were, and some of the parts that I like about the image and maybe parts of the images that I don't like so much. So I'm going to start off with the first image. And this one for me is not in my top 5 this week. I do like the image, but I feel like the pose could have been a bit stronger, and I could have maybe directed Rada to have a little bit more of an edgier pose or facial expression. So I think for me this is a nice photo, but it's not going to be in my top 5 this week. The next photo is in my top 5 this week, and I really do like it as a portrait. I do like the colouring that came out of the image, and I do also like the composition. I think her facial expression too is really nice, and it's just a really nice image, and I think I liked it enough to put it in my top 5. I think it was just the composition that got me over the line with this one. I do like the way that she's tilting her head and her expression and the colouring overall. This one's also in my top 5 this week because I specifically directed Rada to have her arm like that. I really wanted to have more of the sleeve in the shot of the kimono and really get a portrait that showed off the sleeves a little bit more. So I do like this image. I think her facial expression is quite edgy as well, and I don't mind the pose overall. This one for me is another one in my top 5 this week. I really, really love how the clothing is being shown off in this shot. And for me, this is sort of how fashion photography is meant to be seen, and clothing is meant to be shown off, really. Patterns, textures, whatever you can show off the most. And I think it's shown really well in this photograph, and that's why I like it. I think everything sort of came together in this shot too. I like her pose and her facial expression as well. And the contrast between the green grass and the colouring on the kimono is really cool too. This one for me is not in my top 5 this week, and I think just everything didn't quite come together in this shot. It's an okay shot for me. I did like the idea of trying to get the kimono with a bit of movement and getting caught by the wind, but I don't exactly like Radha's pose in this shot, and her facial expression could have been a little bit different, I feel. But that was definitely due to my direction with this shot. I could have told her to maybe change up the pose a little bit more, or to show off even the kimono a little bit more in the shot. This photo is a really nice one for me, and I do actually really like the composition and the way that the skirt is shown off, but I do think it is a little bit plain in the sense that there's not too much going on, and it's a little bit too simple. I do like simplicity, but this one for me is just not interesting enough, I think. This photograph is actually my top 5 this week, and for some people this might not be one of their favourite photos, but I do think that there's just a little bit of different elements going on in this photograph compared to a lot of the other photos from this shoot. Radha's expression is different, her pose is different, and I do like the way that the clothing's been shown off in the shot, so I do think it is another one of those images that has a more fashion element to it, so I think that's why I like it overall. This one is not in my top 5, but I was definitely tossing up between this one and the previous image. But the other image won over just because I feel like in this shot, there's just not enough interest for me. I do like simple photographs and simplicity, as I said before, but for me, this is just bordering on a little bit too much simplicity, and it's just not interesting enough as opposed to the other photo. Some people might disagree with me on this one, but that's just personal preference. Another really nice photo for me, but not in my top 5 this week. I did like the pose and the composition. I think it's a little bit different to what I usually do, but also, once again, not too much going on in the photo, and I think it could have just been a little bit stronger. And this is the last photo for this week. This is definitely one of my favorites, and it's in my top 5. And I really love Radha's expression in this shot. And I really struggled with the colouring in this shot and ended up going with a black and white because I feel like it just honed in on her expression a lot more. And I think the colouring for this one just didn't work. And it's strange for me because I'm always doing coloured shots. I don't usually ever edit my photos to be black and white, but I think for this shot in particular, it just works. And it's definitely in my top 5 for this week. So these are the images from the shoot this week that are in my top 5. So I'm really happy with how they've turned out. I am going to narrow it down to one favourite image from the week, and this is going to be my photo of the week, basically, for this project. So my favourite image this week is definitely personal preference, and you guys might not agree with me on this one. It's all down to individual tastes, but this image in particular is my favourite for this week. I think it just shows off the clothing really well, and like I said, I do want to choose images for this project that are more fashion based and geared towards fashion, so I think this shot shows that very well. And like I said before, a lot of elements came together in this shot: the pose, the expression, the color contrast between the green and the red and orange. I just really like how it turned out. So for me this week, this is my favorite. My second favorite would have to be the portrait, but as I said, I really want to choose more fashion-based images. This is a really nice portrait, but I think for me, I wanted to choose something just more fashion-based. And this one also is one of my favorites, probably my third favorite for this week, but I do like that there's a little bit more interest going on, I think, in this photo than this one here. So for the first week of the 52-week project, this photo would have to be my favorite. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see more of the image, and I will post a couple of the images just at the end of my top 5 so you guys can see the images up close a little bit more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's really exciting for me starting this project, and I really hope I can even grow these videos to become more interesting, hopefully, and more insightful. So if you guys have any ideas of what you'd like to see in these videos, please let me know in the comments section below, because I'm going to be adding things in all the time. time. I'm going to have quite a few different shoots overseas, hopefully, so there's going to be so many different ways of doing behind the scenes and that I can possibly apply to these videos. So please do feel free to add any input that you think could make these videos even better down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear that. And if you guys haven't already joined our 52-week photography project groups on Facebook and Flickr, I've linked those in the description box below. Come and join us on this journey of photography this year, and if you haven't started a 52-week project before, feel free to do it at any point throughout the year really. It doesn't have to be the beginning of the year or the first day or anything like that. You can start it at any time, and even join the groups just to follow along and see what everyone else is doing for their projects. It's really interesting, and it's really cool to support each other throughout the year and see how much we can develop and grow. Also, if you're interested in any of the gear that I own, it's all in the description box below. Everything is listed there, and all the links are listed below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you next time. Bye!